Okay, folks, we're here in Anaheim. And, hey, how you doing, bro? We're here in Anaheim, and there is a meeting here tonight to determine situation in reference to homeless shelter. And the NIMBY bunch is here. In case you're wondering what NIMBY is, NIMBY is a term that we use for people who make signs like these. The term NIMBY is not in my backyard. Not in my backyard. The media is here, the police are here, the NIMBY folks are here. And whether they run a business or live here, their basic concept is not in my backyard. Well, I got news for you. You've got homeless in your backyard, and they need to be helped. And if they're helped, they can be controlled.
Same guy that maybe like beat up that 83-year-old the other night.
Yeah.
He was a homeless guy too.
Yeah.
So you know. And what about? Why don't you explain to our friend Jennifer here, who a homeless guy stabbed her daughter? So you're telling me there's no crime and there's issues on that?
I didn't say there was no crime.
Well, so I live in that neighborhood. That's my neighborhood. I have a concern about safety. Her daughter was stabbed. So you're saying that you know we should just roll over on this one? I don't think so. I'm not comfortable with it in my neighborhood, and I'm totally opposed to it.
Okay, very good.
I live in this neighborhood. My opinion should matter. My voice should be heard.
Amen.
And I believe that this is not a bad location. It's a good idea. Homelessness is a problem, and we all have compassion for that situation. But I also believe that people that want help need to help themselves.
I do.
And I believe that we don't need to reward bad behavior.
I agree.
If they want help, they can go get it. I don't raise my children like that, and I'm not helping to raise other people's children like that.
Well, that's how we do our shelter,
I live in the area
that we insist that they help themselves, and I'm part of security, and because I feel for you, and I'm sorry that happened.
It was
and yeah, there's a lot of bad homeless people, there's a lot of bad people in neighborhoods too, in houses, so I went
But they're not peeing on my yard and defecating and stealing my mail.
That is wrong.
They're not
I agree.
sleeping in my front yard.
But I don't think just having the shelter would allow all that, because then you'd have to have security.
How can I do that if that shelter only houses 200 people, and they're closing down one in Fullerton that houses 200 people, and they're closing one in Santa Ana that houses 200 people, which leaves us with 600 people in a 200 people shelter? You can do the math.
Well, if it's only
This is not going to work.
yeah, well, if it's only 200, they got to stick with that.
Well, then why are we spending $3.6 million to buy a building that will not be able to house more than 200?
I don't know.
Okay. Please call me. My name is on the flyer, and I can't give it to you, but
My name's Michael.
by all means.
Well, hey, I understand, sympathize when the bad ones do bad things, and I'm at a homeless shelter, and I turned around, so there is hope. I mean,
Fire free. Okay.
So that's
you know,
I'm sorry. I'm not
sticking up. I'm
disrespecting
not
you.
sticking up for the ones that do bad at all.
No. Okay.
And
But you know what? Look at it. You probably are trying to use the resources that are currently available right now because you want to help yourself.
well, I work for the Lord now, so
Well,
yeah.
and that's great. I work for the Lord too. So amen to that. But what I'm saying is you're trying to help yourself, be a better you.
Well, I'm also trying to help the homeless and the people that live in houses. I
Go
look out
down
for
there.
them.
Go down there to the riverbed. Ask any of them if they want any help. They don't want help.
Well, I don't have to ask them. I know a lot of them.
They don't want help.
I know a lot of them are losers, but they deserve a chance.
Is there a reason why you're recording us?
Yeah.
It does the show.
Okay. Fantastic. Let me be heard. No, this problem affects me personally.
But since I come here tonight, I will give it some thought and try to
Just
come
give
up
it
with
some thought.
some kind of solution.
And the thing that's difficult too is
To help everybody.
The thing that's difficult too is the superintendent made this location because a lot of very compassionate people are members of churches, as well as the rest of us. We're all very compassionate too. We know it's a national problem. But by bringing it here at the church, we now have a whole congregation here that doesn't live anywhere near the homeless shelter, and it's not going to personally affect them like it is us.
Where would you guys like to have that?
You know, where would I like to have it at? You know what? You could have it in my backyard if it was set up like the Orange County Missionary Shelter program that actually ran and made people accountable and followed a program.
That's what we do.
I don't want a program where they show up, I mean, goodness gracious.
Who's running this shelter?
Well, at one time it was proposed that the Mercy House was going to run it, and now supposedly the superintendents, because of our voices, have decided that they're going to put it out for RFP for fair bidding practices, which they should have done to start with. So my suggestion is that we take a platform or a program that's already showing effective results.
Oh, to take control of that.
Right. I mean, and I think that's what's going to happen now is that it's not going to just be like, oh, let's give it to Joe and Bob. They're going to run the show.
If an organization that you felt comfortable with handled that, you'd be more comfortable?
I don't think that it has, I don't think that it's the right location because it can't house more than 200.
Well, like we're at, we have a certain number and we have to stick to that.
And then what happens when the people come in and the doors are closed and they're full? What happens? Then they all go down in the riverbed and they hang out in the riverbed.
That's right next to the riverbed?
Yes, sir. Which is right next to my house.
I wish we were closer to that place.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. If you talk to the Park and Rec.
No, I've lived around here.
I mean, if you talk to the Trail and Park and Recreation, Orange County Parks, right now that's ran by the county, they're inundated. They're scared. Their employees don't want to go down there. They're scared to work. They're scared to confront them. They're scared to go pick up the trash. They're fixing the broken sprinklers. They're spending $300 a week just on broken sprinklers, broken showers being clogged, soaps, dishes, trash, dirty towels, toilet paper. That is supposed to be for the people that live in this community to use for riding their bikes and, you know, walking and exercising and walking their dogs. You know, getting a 200-bed warehouse, and it's a warehouse. I mean, we have a
I saw it.
We have a better facility for our animal control. We treat our dogs and cats that are homeless better. We're not going to kick the dog out at 6 in the morning after we feed them.
Well, I see what your argument is about.
Okay, I appreciate that because all I'm here to do is
I'm not here
educate, and I'd like to have a solution. Honest to God, I'd like a solution.
Yeah.
You know, every problem needs a solution.
I wish I could.
I just don't think this is the right solution.
I wish I could.
Oh no, you obviously just walked up and didn't hear what I said. I wouldn't have a problem with that facility, but the housing for it will not accommodate 200 people. We're closing one in Fullerton, we're closing one in Santa Ana, and making this the only one, which means 200 from there, 200 from there, 200 already need a place. That's 600. I can do the math. It won't work. They'll end up in the riverbed.
So I was going to say, go ahead.
I wish I could do security there. I really do.
Yeah, you probably could make a huge difference.
Oh yeah, we do where I'm at.
I'm sorry, sir. You had a question?
No. I'm just recording. I've been doing this for 25 years.
What is your name?
Wiley Drake.
Wiley Drake. Jennifer Sterling. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
And what do you do, Wiley Drake?
I'm a pastor and I run a homeless shelter in Bell Park.
Okay.
For 25 years.
Okay. And is it a success?
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Very
Are you? Is it a? Can I get that bug? It's going to die on you? Oh, never mind.
That's where I'm at.
I was going to just pinch it over. Are you proposing that perhaps you want to put in an RFP to run another facility?
No.
Why not? You know, we
No, what we do works.
No, ours.
What they're going to do, I don't think will work either.
Thank you.
I agree.
Yeah, I hope you speak tonight.
But
I honest to God don't think that putting this.
Get off at what time?
I think that the superintendent has an agenda, and it was to do a backdoor, quiet, buy a piece of property, get it in escrow, and nobody was going to get wind of it.
Yeah.
That backfired.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I agree.
So you know,
let me give you a.
You know, I mean, that's what
let me give you a card.
You know, if that's how you plan a meeting, how are you going to plan the shelter then?
Oh, yeah.
No, we'll do what they said because, you know, I mean, that's what they asked. No, thank
It's a
you.
little bit stressful. I probably should have prayed before I started.
That's my card for the show that I do.
Okay,
But
well,
I run a shelter in Buena Park, have for 25 years,
that's fantastic.
and I know what works.
Well,
And we've been very successful. Crime rate's down in Buena Park, and even though we have a shelter right in the middle of town,
that's great.
but it's not in a warehouse; it's at a church. And that's
So there's
why
a,
it works.
you know, that's funny that you should say that because it does kind of set the tone. It really does. It's kind of like the mentality that Disneyland implements when they do
Absolutely.
grad night.
That's
The
right.
kids have to come dressed appropriately,
yep, that's
and
right.
it sets the mindset.
Absolutely.
That this is our expectation of you.
Yep.
It puts some accountability on them.
And we have full accountability at our show.
yeah,
We do.
and I love that.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to put these in the car.
You
okay?
can go to that and watch yourself.
I don't know if I want to. Was I frowning?
No, you
You
did
had
fine.
me in the sun.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. You did fine.
Are you live casting?
I am live casting. Well, as you can see, folks, there's some very passionate fors and against. And the problem is that they're trying to take a system that doesn't work in other areas and trying to make it work with homeless people. Not one time have they contacted us in Buena Park. We've been running a very successful shelter here in Buena Park.